I'm Seamless, and this is the 21st 75K tutorial, and this one was requested by Scooty Pootis, and this is a two fingers sound, also known as Amon Tobin. The sound is this, and the sound I got was this. It's a little bit weird, but let me sort of explain to you the concept of the sound, because I got the concept right, it's just the execution is a little bit weird. So if you look at the sound here, we can see a very notable thing. We can see that the pitch is coming up here, but then this sort of these harmonics are coming down while it's going up. But then you see that they're going down together, and then they come up again. Well, this is actually just reverb, and then it starts up normal, and then goes again apart, and this goes out separately. Like this is like separate stuff apparently. Now, I don't think they're two different things. When I saw this, I didn't see two different sets of harmonics. I saw the same set of harmonics and one of them being filtered. In this case, there's a couple of ways you can go about doing this, and the way that I decided to go about it was by using a phaser. A phaser kind of creates this sort of striated look of the spectrum in there, and that's sort of what will happen. Now, beyond that, we had to figure out what the bass sound is, and the bass sound is something called a hoover. And I've never actually tried to make a sound like this before. It's not a style that was around when I started to care about this kind of thing, and it's not something I ever really wanted to do. And I think I did it right. It's essentially a super saw, just octaved. Actually, probably didn't want to do that. Oh, I did want to do that. Okay. And then I'm manually automating the pitch movement here, because the pitch movement isn't exactly, it's not linear, which is what if I wanted to do slide notes, I could do it like that. But because it's not linear, or not, and also not even the same the whole time, I decided to keep it like this. There's also, in that particular instance of the sound, you can kind of hear this. I'm assuming that's a clap. And it's a big assumption on my part, because that actually could just be the sound moving around in such a way that it creates that effect, but I don't think it's that. And there's that reverb I was talking about. And I don't actually know if that's like a pre-recorded reverse thing going into this sound, or if that's actually this sound with the dry turned off so that it only sounds just the reverb. I do have reverb on, or at least I did. So it'd be like that's kind of how you would do that if you want to do that with the reverb. That's one particular way. There's actually just so many ways that you can do something like this. So the relatively high feedback creates those peaks in the sample, in the sound, that move down with it. And like, it's sort of, I mean, one way you could do that. I guess you could sort of dampen it out a little bit. Where's the, there used to be a damping function. I guess there's not in this section, in this plugin. I think I'm thinking about the flanger. I tried doing it with the flanger first because I thought I could do something similar, but it's actually a bit more on point with the phaser. Now, something about automating the phaser is that I have one automation clip for phaser, but I'm automating the min depth and maximum depth at the same time. If you ever tried to freeze the sweep frequency and then change the minimum and maximum depth in terms of like where it actually is, you might have a hard time understanding, like, you know, what the range is and where it is currently. But if you automate them both at the same time, it's actually saying that the range is nothing, and that it's only going to be where it is whenever it is, when these two parameters are together. So that's how you know you have absolute position, and it's always going to be the same, regardless of where it automated itself when it had the sweep on initially. So that's the value of that. So you can either have, I mean, low feedback or high feedback. It's sort of taste-wise, as far as the actual, this sound goes. You can sort of see that it's kind of like clipped off a bit at the top. Mine just kind of keeps going all the way up. So if you want to mimic it identically, you'd probably want to filter it a little bit. And other business. This, less like anything else Amon Tobin does, is weird and ridiculous and not at all as simple as it might initially seem. But I feel like I did a pretty okay job with this. The source sound is just, you know, super saw. Not a lot going on there. I'm automating the pitch through the X mod, and I've upped the pitch envelope range to be 2 octaves instead of 1 octave. So this range represents 2 octaves, and this range represents 2 octaves. So the split here is 2 octaves amount, and I'm only going from bottom to 50%. So this means that it's just 2 octaves amount. So it's just more than average amount of sliding. Anyway, I'll put up this FLP for download so you can screw around with it. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. If you'd like to make a request yourself, please do so at the Reddit thread that's linked in the description of this video. Any requests made anywhere else will be ignored. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And as usual, have a nice day.